consent.
Is a swing and a slow chopper toward third. Here comes Bryant on to first, and the Cubs have won the World Series.
That was what the night was all about at the beginning of the night tonight as they raised the World Series championship banner here at Wrigley Field a few hours ago. We move on to the bottom of the 8th inning now, tied at 2 and some changes for the Dodgers. Logan Forsythe has moved from second to third. Chase Utley stays in the game at second. Justin Turner is out of the game. Sergio Romo's the new pitcher. He goes into Turner's spot in the batting order. We can only speculate, but remember Turner got hit by a pitch on the left hand or forearm, and maybe that's why he has come out. Here is Romo, the longtime former Giant.
All about that slider for Romo. He'll throw.
Russell got it off the end of the bat. And what a catch out in left field by Tolles.
We're getting a look at why the Dodgers are such fans of Andrew Tolles and the skills that look at where he's at, where he starts, and the amount of distance that he has to cover, and makes a dive on a ball that's still kind of tailing towards the line, but he stays with it, gets his body to follow it, a little hop on the dive, but the amount of ground, the speed he used, and just the ability to stay with the ball, make the grab.
One down, bottom 8, tie game. Here's Wilson Contreras. And a slider for a strike. Contreras 1 for 3 on the night, had a base hit back in the 4th. Cubs were up 2-0. Dodgers got a run in the 6th, another one in the 8th to tie it.
But if Justin Turner did leave the game because of getting hit by that pitch, it's been a potentially costly night though for the Dodgers, who'd lost Gutierrez to the hamstring injury after his first at bat, and if Turner has now left the game as well.
A look at what happened to Justin Turner the last time he was up, and again we don't know, have not been given word this is why he came out of the game, but it stands to reason perhaps that this is why he left the game. Otherwise he could have stayed at third, and Forsythe could have stayed at second, and Utley just wouldn't have stayed in the game.
And Romo would be one spot further away from hitting.
Yep. Good look at how a right-handed batter sees the slider of Sergio Romo.
Well, he's got such great command with the pitch. Kind of a unique angle. Obviously not a very big guy. That low 3/4, but he gets such good tight rotation and that side-to-side action, and he's able to paint with it. He can work both sides of the plate with it, so he makes it work in a couple of different ways to make it really like a couple of different pitches. He'll show the fastball just to kind of set it up even more so. And that's a good example there of Contreras now kind of selling out and adjusting to the slider. You know, just a real simple, small approach. You can tell he's just trying to shoot the ball the other way. That ball was so well located that he couldn't really get to it. This sometimes is where he'll try and pop a fastball in on the hands, or front door that slider when he senses a guy is really laying out over the plate.
High fly ball center field. And Jock Peterson is there, 2 down. So now Jason Hayward 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Romo is the 5th pitcher of the night for the Dodgers. The Cubs have used 5 pitchers as well. These two teams are off tomorrow. They resume the series Wednesday, wrap it up on Thursday. Wade Davis, the Cubs closer, is now up in the pen. The former Kansas City Royal, and prior to that, of course, he pitched for Joe Madden in Tampa Bay. Two down, bases empty, tie game, bottom 8 here at Wrigley. And the 0-1.
And there's the first fastball we've seen from Romo this inning on the 10th pitch he's thrown. But it's a show pitch, right? So he's ahead 1-0 or 0-1, and that's just if he wants to go fetch this fastball off the plate away. But it's just to set up potentially a backdoor slider, or he's already established a presence in on his hands with that slider. There he tried the backdoor, didn't quite get it there. And he's seeing right now Hayward's discipline to lay off the pitch away. So he said, all right, you take the fastball away, let me start this slider in that same slot and try and bring it to the back door. He didn't quite get it there, though.
Now missed inside with the slider to fall behind 3-1.
That's a good take by Hayward, because he looked at the slider that was tried to backdoor. So you're thinking, okay, he's looking inner half, which you could tell because he started to trigger his lower half, but he was able to recognize that it was off the plate in.
And again inside to Walker. So Romo now will have to deal with Javier Baez, and what a sensation he became last October. Swung the bat well. Co-MVP of the National League Championship Series, but more than anything just electrified the baseball world with his defense. Saw that during the WBC as well, and it kind of feels like we're going to be seeing that for a long time.
We'll see how Romo attacks him. Expect to see a lot of sliders, but expect him to work off the plate. Baez will go up there. He'll lay on an off-speed pitch, but he'll expand that zone as well. This could be an opportunity with 2 outs. Hayward, a good base runner, a base stealing threat. And with 2 outs, would love to get in the scoring position.
Dodgers thinking the same thing. Baez is in the 8 spot, but remember Almora is now in the 9 spot. The pitcher is in the leadoff spot right now for the Cubs, so Almora waits on deck. Doubled in his only at bat tonight. Healthy hack, but he comes up empty.
And this is a swing that you will see from Javier Baez as you take a look at the slider moving away from the bat. Baez, if you're going to find the weakness for him, it's his inability to lay off the breaking ball that moves away from his bat, and you see him sort of reach for it. He knows it's coming. He sees the location, but he thinks he can get a piece.
He will never give in to him. Even here 2-1, he's not. If this slider ends up in the middle of the plate, it's a mistake from Romo. His intent right here will be to start this slider on the plate, but for it to end up a ball, even in a 2-1 count, knowing that he's got an aggressive hitter. But I think this is a pitch where you've got to look to run if you're Hayward. You know slider's probably coming.
Like he might have been going, and Romo fires over to first.
And that's fine. And there you're flinching over there because you're trying to get a break, and you can still get back in plenty of time with a dive back. So that tells you as a base runner, all right, I'm okay. get right back out there. And this should be a good pitch to run on, and it's time to run.
Not going. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Well, if he didn't go 2-1, unlikely you would think to be going 2-2.
No, I think you got to keep going. I think that I think he should. He's probably been on his own or given the green light to go this whole time. It's just about him finding a jump, and I think that still exists here.
Not running. Swing and a miss. Inning over. Romo takes advantage of Baez, getting him to chase time after time. End of 8 here at Wrigley Field in Chicago, and it's tied at 2.
Four distinct driving modes. Dynamic handling. Quicker shifts. Make every car a performance car. This is the ultra-responsive Acura TLX, and this is how we make it.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the TLX.
Okay, Sal, so who was really the best?
From around here?
Johnny Matarazzo, 5'3" center, averaged 57 tonight.
Ronnie DeRosa, the big D. He put $1 on the top of the backboard, brought back change.
Vinny DiBiasio scored 125 points in one half on crutches.
I was there. Vinny D was awesome. He was unbelievable. He was the PT peer. He was the 3S man. He was a
Is that even good?
high riser. He did it
No
all.
clue.
Heroes make every game better. The Subway Italian Hero, perfect for game day.
You got a truck for a reason, so get some Firestone tires and go do truck stuff. The Firestone Destination AT. Long link, carbon reinforced to conquer any terrain and any truck stuff. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
So let me get this straight. You're a rabbit?
I'm Vern, the Orange Money Retirement Rabbit from Voya.
Right. And that means...
I'm the money you save for retirement. I help you get organized so your money could multiply. See?
Got it. Who's he?
He's green money for spending today. You know, paying bills. Maybe a little online shopping.
What makes it easy to tell you apart?
That and I am better looking.
I heard that.
When it's time to get organized for retirement, it's time to get Voya. Whether it's connecting one of the world's most innovative campuses or bringing Wi-Fi to 65,000 fans, businesses count on communication, and communication counts on CenturyLink. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
The debate starts here. First Take, weekdays at 10 on ESPN.
The evening beginning here at Wrigley Field with the flag being raised and the trophy being walked in by Anthony Rizzo and company from the bleachers onto the field. More coverage on that on SportsCenter coming up immediately following the conclusion of this game tonight here on ESPN, which was significantly delayed by some severe weather tonight here in Chicago. We are on to the top of the 9th inning. The Dodgers and the Cubs tied at 2, and Cubs closer Wade Davis is into the game.
The new Cubs closer, obviously recently with the Royals, where he was so dominant the last few seasons. See, with an injury-shortened season for him last year, still dominant though.
Line to first, and Gonzalez retired on one pitch.
There's that first pitch curveball from Wade Davis. It'll be fastball mid-90s, the cut fastball, which is such a tough pitch, and you see Rizzo guarding the line a little bit, trying to prevent that extra base hit, in perfect position to handle that stinger off the bat of Adrian Gonzalez.
Here's Yasmani Grandal, 1 for 2 with a walk. John Lester started for the Cubs tonight, went 6 innings, gave up a run on 4 hits, struck out 6. Alex Wood, spot starter for the injured Rich Hill on the DL with a blister problem, went 3 2/3. Gave up 2 runs, 1 earned as Grandal loops one into center field. A base hit, his second hit of the night. And now a guy who can do some damage. Jock Peterson, big time power. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Singled and scored back in the 6th. Confident young guy. He will come up to face Wade Davis.
Jock, one of those hitters coming out of spring, kind of tweaking with his swing a little bit. So you can take a look at the Dodgers closer, Kenley Jansen, warming up down in the bullpen.
I tell you, the acoustics in those bullpens are great. Everybody sounds like they're throwing 130. And he's just getting loose.
Well, Ben Zobrist talked about Joe Madden being good for the self-esteem. These bullpens are good for the reliever's self-esteem.
Fly ball, shallow right center field. Almora wants it. 2 down. Davis has thrown only 5 pitches. He's faced 3 batters, gotten 2 outs, given up a base hit, and now it'll be Andrew Toles. Toles grounding into a double play in his first at bat of the night. Big moment in this game. The Dodgers in the 7th, at the time they were trailing 2-1, loaded the bases with nobody out. Peterson flied out, and then Toles grounded into a double play.
That was Justin Grimm using that fastball curveball combination. He got a fastball up enough to where Peterson got under it for that first out, and then after showing Toles a fastball up and in to set up the breaking ball, he got that 4-6-3 double play, a huge play in this game.
Up high, 2 balls, no strikes. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, the Cubs will send up Almora. Then the pitcher spot is due up, and then Chris Bryant. Tricky one. Hopper gets by Bryant down the left field line. Grandal up to second, and Toles safely across.
Well, this is about as weird a play as you'll have as a third baseman. Kind of a do or die play. It's got that slice spin on it. So you see Bryant just kind of really sell out and try and get to the short hop. He just can't quite get there. The ball's spinning, gets turned into an in-between hop, which is essentially a do or die play. I think will probably go as a hit. No, error.
E5 on Bryant to extend the inning. First and second 2 down for Forsythe. The leadoff man for the Dodgers, 2 for 4, a couple of strikeouts and a couple of base hits. And a fastball right down the middle for a strike. Neither team really successful with runners in scoring position tonight, to say the least. Dodgers 1 for 6, Cubs 0 for 7. Corey Seager on deck should the inning continue for the Dodgers. Forsythe already in his brief tenure as a member of the Dodgers has hit leadoff, as he is tonight, has hit third, and has hit fifth. Lineups getting juggled depending if it's a righty or a lefty. Those who have braved the cold are on their feet right now trying to root on Wade Davis. Strike 3 called Hold, says Sam Holbrook, and that'll end the inning. The Dodgers leave a couple of men on in the top of the ninth after Davis gets Forsythe, and the Cubs will come up looking for a run to win it.
You going by the autopsy later?
They glued his nose and mouth shut. Are we thinking cause of death is somehow a cliffhanger? It's not a pretty picture.
And believe me, I'm a lawyer, so...
Unfathomable pinheadery.
No trap. Clicks and buzzers.
What the?
Fargo, Wednesday, April 19th on FX.
Speed. A goalie's worst nightmare. A record year. That's what I'm building with chocolate milk. Nutrients to refuel, protein to rebuild, backed by science.
To err is human. To anticipate is Lexus. Experience the Lexus RX with advanced safety. Standard. Experience.
This is a hernia mesh legal alert. If you experienced problems following hernia repair that resulted in removal of the hernia mesh, you may have a case.
Call 1-800-296-1275 for a free case evaluation.
Are you a Christian author with a book ready to share with the world but need a publisher? We'll place your book for sale at all major mainstream booksellers, offering it to millions. We do it all.
Call for your free author submission kit at 800-622-1421.
I won this 55-inch TV for less than $30 on DealDash.com.
I got this $1,200 computer for $100.71.
These aren't actors, they're real people who got real savings at DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. At DealDash.com, you can save up to 99%, but hurry, everything must go.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
We are back at Wrigley Field, bottom of the ninth, tied at 2. The Cubs coming up looking for a run to win it here on opening night, and we're going to see a couple of pinch hitters coming up for the Cubs here in the bottom of the ninth. John Jay is going to bat for Albert Almora Jr. Joe Maddon wants to try to neutralize that slider a little bit from Sergio Romo, so he'll bring up the left-handed bat of Jay, a more experienced bat in Almora's spot, and Tommy La Stella is on deck with the pitcher due up next. Chris Bryant due up third this inning. Jay 2 for 4 in his career against Romo. And a fastball, 0-1.
Jansen still warming up for the Dodgers. Luis Avilan is one of the other left-handed relievers for the Dodgers. He threw, I believe, 27 pitches in the ball game yesterday against the Rockies, so he'd probably be the one guy they try and stay away from. But with the off day tomorrow.
0-2. Romo in his second inning of work.
See if they waste the fastball away to set up the back door. We'll change up there. This is where at times against lefties he'll try and expand with that fastball away when he's hit, just to set up the slider. There, another changeup perhaps right there. But now that's kind of to see if he's biting at that. If he's biting on that angle of pitch, now he'll ideally start the slider in that same window and try and bite it back to that outside corner.
Fastball fouled off.
And that's a good location for the fastball, because if I'm a lefty in the batter's box against Romo, I'm probably looking more middle away, hoping it's a mistake slider that ends up over the middle of the plate. And what Romo does, it's kind of that chess match, is he then gives him a pitch middle, but it's straight and it's out of the zone low.
There's the slider away, and Jay fights it off. Got to give him a lot of credit. He's not going to blow anybody away, but he's got a really good idea what he's trying to do out there.
No, but now Jay has seen all his pitches, and he feels like in his mind he's got them covered. And Jay's so good and set up to hit it the other way that he should be able to cover that out there.
Lines it into right, a base hit. Winning run aboard for the Cubs to lead off the bottom of the ninth.
And that's just a classic John Jay at bat, where he just, battles, finally gets a mistake here. It's a slider. You see he kind of reaches back up and out over the plate. I think they wanted to bury that down and in, which is how they started the at bat. But this ball stays up in the center of the plate, and Jay, who's set up to hit the ball the other way, then gets a mistake off-speed pitch, pounds it into right. Winning run on now for the Cubs.
And here's Tommy La Stella now to bat in the pitcher spot. Left-hand hitting infielder. Last year hit .270 in 74 games at the big league level with the Cubs.
You see them not bunting, not surprising with La Stella, and with that slider, that big hole on the right side. He wants to get something he can pound into that hole.
And he took one basically right down the middle. A slider there for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, that was a get me in there slider, which is what you would expect from Romo. When he's behind in the count and he needs to get a strike, he's just going to flip that slider in there. Typically, that was probably a pitch, if La Stella was looking for, he could have done something with.
Chris Bryant waiting on deck. Runner goes, and it's bounced foul up the third baseline. Jay stretching out that lead at first. The count now 1-2 on La Stella. Nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth. Bouncer over the mound. And the only play is to first. Up to second goes Jay.
Well, good job by Seager here. You know, initially off the bat, he would have loved to get the lead runner, but no chance. So he just keeps working hard through the ball, gets to that short hop, and at least gets the first out of this inning. But now that winning run is now in scoring position for the Cubs as Chris Bryant strolls to the plate.
Chris Bryant, the reigning National League MVP, the Rookie of the year prior to that. An RBI double tonight in the third inning, and one of the game's not only great young stars, one of the game's great stars, period, coming up. And Dave Roberts is out. And going to be a double switch.
So we're going to have Austin Barnes.
He's the only remaining position player, and
Kenley.
We'll sort it out when we come back. Cubs with a winning run at second with a 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
To be legal, a driver can displace up to 460 cc's of water. The new M2 pushed the limit with a larger club head. So we carved away the sole, leaving behind a larger face and a massive sweet spot. It's breakthrough speed and forgiveness you won't find anywhere else. So is it legal? Technically.
So, the General can insure almost any car and any driver?
We sure can.
You know, I wasn't sure about the General when I was younger.
Well, we provided low-cost auto insurance for more than 50 years.
Hey, I'm not that old.
At the General, monthly payments are low with immediate online proof of insurance.
Get your anonymous online quote with low payments and ride with the General.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Advanced technology, durability, adorability, and baby softness. Maybe not. It takes a lot to save a galaxy, but most of all it takes confidence. That's why there's Hanes with Fresh IQ Advanced Odor Protection Technology. It's the smart way to stay fresh enough to take on the whole stinking universe. Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in theaters May 5th.
Well, kind of a difficult challenge for any pitcher. Bryant at the plate, Rizzo on deck, but just as challenging is dealing with one of the game's very best relief pitchers in Kenley Jansen.
Well, not much secret. You're right, Dan. One of the best closers in the game. Another great season as the Dodgers closer a year ago. Not much secret. Fastball with that cut action on it that he'll throw in the low mid-90s. Occasional slider, but primarily it's pouring in that cutter from that big frame.
Jansen and Bryant with a winning run at second, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. And a strike. Cubs looking for their first hit of the night with a man in scoring position. Swing and a miss at a ball up. It's 0-2. This was a double switch for the Dodgers. Austin Barnes, who's a catcher by trade, comes in to play third base. Forsythe is out of the game as he and Jansen enter at the same time. Last remaining position player available for Dave Roberts. Well, Bryant into battle mode right now with a count 0-2. Well, he's no fun. If the ball's away, if it's up, if it's on your hands, he is no fun to deal with, Kenley Jansen. The runner Jay out at second, pretty good speed, 1 out in the inning. Runner goes, and a swing and a miss for out number 2, and Jay into third, standing up.
I don't think it bothered him, but you almost saw Bryant kind of look out there. Jay got such a good jump there with 2 strikes. He's going down there maybe a little bit frustrated. Maybe it was a bit of a distraction for him. Usually with a hitter like Bryant up, and he kind of does a double take and looks back, like maybe it did distract him. Not that it's inconsequential, because you can score in a lot more ways, obviously getting to third, but with 2 outs now, you don't want to be a distraction to one of your best hitters.
Rizzo looking to win it. 2 down, runner at third.
And that's something that usually you'll communicate with guys. Like, is it something that bothers you? Do you not want me running in that kind of a situation? John Jay, obviously in his first year as with the Cubs, you wonder if that conversation has happened.
Rizzo looking for his first RBI of the season, and from a Cub perspective would now be a good time to come up with it. Foul down the right field line.
And you see Rizzo right now has his 2-strike approach with the runner on 3rd and 2 outs. He's choking up on the bat. Pulls this pitch down the line, but he's not trying to hit it out. He's just choking up so that he can have good plate coverage, knowing what Kenley Jansen can do with that cut fastball. Somehow find grass and get this run in.
1-1 the count. Down the left field line, a fair ball, and the Cubs will win it. A long, cold night here at Wrigley. A night that began with the Cubs raising the banner, commemorating their World Series championship from a year ago. And they find a way to win it in the bottom of the 9th as Anthony Rizzo drives in the winning run with a base hit to left.
Well, Jess, you talked about it. Him choking up there essentially just went into a 2-strike approach there, and just a real short, simple swing that he works the other way. And a great hitter. Struggling a little bit early in the season, looking for his first RBI and facing one of the game's great closers. Just a real short, simple swing. Inside out, gets the barrel to it, and sends the faithful that were still hanging around home happy.
For the Cubs and their fans, the night started really, really well and ended really, really well. As the Cubs up their record of 5-2 on the season, they win their home opener by a score of 3-2 over the Dodgers as Rizzo drives in the winning run. They'll have a day off tomorrow. They will resume the series Wednesday. ESPN will bring you the Nationals and the Cardinals tomorrow night, and our Sunday night game will see the Cardinals in New York to take on the Yankees Sunday night at 8 here on ESPN. A fun night for the Cubs and their fans in many ways. They wind up beating the Dodgers 3-2. For Aaron, Jess, and Buster, I'm Dan Shulman saying so long from Chicago. Sports Center is next.